Amina Mohsin. The case study is regarding Spain. Of course, earlier on, Spain has said that it will not increase its defense spending as when the NATO had to increase it to 5%. They said they see no reason for it to increase at such a standard. And of course, when it came to this war, Spain has said it has closed its airspace to U.S. military aircraft involved in the war and refused to allow U.S. forces to use Spanish bases. Of course, this is a direct and concrete action and not just words. They said no to this war. There is no advantage of causing war here. So move away from Spain. Today or yesterday, the leaders of Italy has announced that Israel actually did something that they did not expect. Palm Sunday is a very important Christian holiday or Christian observance. The cardinal was not allowed to go to the Holy Church in Jerusalem, and that caused condemnations from various European nations. And not only so, as I was talking about Spain, earlier on, immediately after Venezuela, there was talks of the Arctic Circle about Greenland, in which the Danish Parliament actually took the help of all of the European nations, and ended up the US ended up being the laughing stock in the Danish Parliament because of Greenland. And immediately we've seen the attack on Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And in this war, the very first thing to be eliminated was the truth. It was the killing of the supreme leader which has caused this galvanization of the Iranian people, Iranian army. The European position on this war, if you would clarify.
See, the European position is very clear because, as I said, that America wanted. If you look at it's, I mean, had there been any other president, I don't think this is a war that all the Republicans are even supporting. And had there, I mean, without any provocation, in the midst of the negotiations, this war started. And the world was watching it, and it was something very much unexpected. What happened was very unexpected. And as it is, because of the Russian-Ukraine war, the European economy is at a very crisis point, or inflation is on. And we saw that, after when Trump took over, it was not that he was very friendly towards his NATO allies. So, he is talking about NATO all the time. The kind of tariffs he imposed. I mean, this is something, yes, with all the European countries. What he did to Canada, he started calling Canada the 51st state of United States.
Of course.
So, I mean, one has to look at that. Now, Trump is talking about taking over Cuba. It was not only Venezuela. When what he did to the Venezuelan president, it is something you don't do to a sovereign country.
That has not happened in the last 100 years.
Yes, it has not happened. I mean, you just can't call people and take over countries because you have the military might, and then what you are saying that you will take over Cuba. I mean, Cuba is literally in a blackout since January, and tariffs, Canada. I mean, it is going over and over again. As it is, Europe was very frustrated, and Canada took a very definite position on it. And why should, I mean, it is, foreign policy, this is something the Indian Foreign Minister Jaishankar said very clearly, that foreign policy is very commonsensical also.
Right.
You do what your common sense says. You don't, cut your nose to spike at others. So, why should the European countries get involved in this war? I mean, there is no reason. Even the International Atomic Energy Commission is saying that, okay, Iran has enriched its uranium, but it has not produced nuclear weapons.
Right.
Weapon capacity is not there. So, what does the United States want? It wants that Israel should be the only country in that region which would have nuclear power. And what Israel is doing to Gaza, the kind of, the flotilla, the kind of protests that were there, those were for the Palestinian people. European countries have seen that. So, at the end of the day, it's not only the leaders. I mean, in a democracy, the people matter.
Of course.
So, and Donald Trump is one president who says one thing in the morning, another thing the next morning. And when he says that regime has changed and they are in a they are negotiating, and Iran is denying it, one really, you can't negotiate and deploy troops
At the same time.
at the
it's
same
very
time.
contradictory.
I mean, and call it victory. I mean, what kind of victory is it? If it is victory, then why are the troops being deployed? I mean, what happened in Iraq? What is happening in Lebanon? I mean, they have literally bulldozed those places. Then, you know, talking about turning Gaza into a resort. I mean, what kind of human rights, what kind
That
of
is,
human values?
course.
If you look at the plight of the Palestinian people, and then they would, and if they talk of exporting terrorism, this is one thing they keep on talking about. I mean, this is in a way spreading Islam. This is a kind of a racism, and the kind of domestic policies even Donald Trump has taken. It has divided, I mean, created a very divisive society inside America also.
2 Americans were killed in the hands of ICE.
Yes.
Enforcement.
So, I mean, what kind of economy America would inherit post-Trump era? That is also, and not only economy, I am also saying that the kind of values systems one has to see.
Of course, people do say that some of these actions are very un-American, and that is how common Americans look towards it.